Okay, so you just saw me get the pumpkins out of the root cellar. However, unfortunately, I had to throw them in the compost. Once I had them up, I actually saw that both of them unfortunately had on one end like mold. I did cut them in half just to see how deep it would go and if I could possibly use them, but since my plan is today to make jam from them, I think it wouldn't be a good idea because you never know how far the mold has internally gone, and there could be possibly mycotoxins. It broke my heart a little bit, to be honest, to have to throw these away, but I guess there was just some storage issue, maybe with the moisture in the root cellar. I have my potatoes and my carrots down there and they are fine. I harvested these pumpkins in September, so it has been almost 4 months for them in the storage. I think it's a very long time. I had planned to do this video earlier and making pumpkin jam in general earlier, but I just didn't have time. There was always something that came in between. We are doing that project today. I really want to do that. So what I did was I went to the shop and I got myself some pumpkins. I got this like butternut squash, and then I got 3 Hokkaido pumpkins. I don't think we're gonna need all of them today, but probably a few. I just had to make up for my loss of pumpkins. It is really heartbreaking, honestly, to throw something away or into the compost. It's not completely gone. It will be part of the garden at some point again, but it is heartbreaking to not be able to use it. So yeah, I'm really glad that I got these pumpkins so we can finally do this project today. So I'm first gonna go ahead and wash these pumpkins. Really scrub them down quite a bit. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Kristen. I do a lot of homesteading, gardening, DIY decor kind of videos. If you're not new here, then thank you so much for joining back in today for this fun little project. So we've washed these Hokkaido pumpkins. Now I think I'm gonna use this big one since this one has a kind of like mark here and here, and I think it's best to use this one first. I doubt that this will be enough, so I'm probably gonna substitute with this little one here. I'm using this recipe from Dr. Edgar, but I'm gonna link it down in the description box below, and maybe I'll actually type it up as well, because this recipe is in German and I know many of you maybe don't speak German, so I'm gonna type it up. Oh, look how nice this looks. So I just took the seeds out with a spoon, and we need 750 grams of pumpkin. So let's weigh this. Okay, this is 488. This is 800. Okay, so it's actually a little bit too much. Okay, that's good. And we're gonna cube it up now. I'm cutting them pretty roughly because it's gonna be pureed later anyway. I think pumpkin jam is not something you encounter every day. When I was growing up in Germany, we visited farmers markets a lot of times and they had that there pretty often, but I haven't come across it anywhere else pretty much. So I thought it would be really fun to do it myself. And if this turns out well, then I'm gonna start doing that every year because I always grow in an abundance of pumpkins. And I think it's a really nice idea and also actually a great gift idea if you wanna like gift something for Christmas. Okay, so now we need 10 grams of ginger. Ooh, that was a bit much. Yep, that's 10 grams. The recipe specifies to use fresh ginger. Then we need 75 milliliters of lemon juice. We need 1 stick of cinnamon. And now the recipe says to use 400 milliliters of apple juice. I'm gonna use this cold pressed Estonian apple juice. Ooh. This smells so good. Okay. Let me check the recipe quick. Okay, we also need a dash of salt. That's a bit much. And we also need 1 vanilla bean. We're gonna need the inside of the vanilla bean and the vanilla bean itself. I got mine from Amazon in this pack of, I think it was 10 vanilla beans. And these are so aromatic and so much cheaper than in the shop. I also use these to make my own vanilla sugar and vanilla extract. Okay. And this is gonna cook on medium heat for at least 20 minutes. So until the pumpkin is kind of soft. And the interesting part is about this recipe, we're not adding the sugar yet. We have to first cook it down, then puree it, and then we're gonna add the sugar. This looks so good. Okay, so I'm sterilizing the lids here and a little jar, and the other jars are in my oven being sterilized. I'm letting this cool down just a little bit because my mixer is made from glass. But this smells so incredibly good. If this tastes only half as good as it smells, then it's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna remove this cinnamon stick and the pieces of the vanilla bean. And I'm gonna add this back in when I'm cooking it down with the sugar. Let me take this down again. I thought this had cooled down a little bit more, but apparently it's still quite warm. But I'm gonna fill it in now anyway. And we're gonna puree this down pretty finely now. Okay, I think that's good. I think it's best to use a spatula for this to get everything out. Now we're using this jellying or jam sugar, and we need 500 grams of this. I have my scale here, so I'm measuring how much I'm putting in. Would be easier if you pre-measure this. And now we're stirring this sugar in. Getting pretty liquidy due to the sugar. The recipe says to cook this down for 3 minutes, but I think I'm gonna cook it just a little bit longer, probably like 10 or something. Wow, that's good. Wow, that is good. I think it could use like a little bit of more cinnamon, in my opinion, and maybe a little bit more ginger, but wow, that is super good. Okay, I added a little bit more cinnamon, but I think it's gonna be okay because the sugar and the acidity is what makes the shelf stable. My gosh, that smells so good. And a good way that you can test if your jam is gelling, just take a spoon and let it like cool down just a little bit. Can you see it has formed this skin and it has gotten very thick? That's what you want. And these beautiful specks of vanilla are so pretty in the jam. These glasses are hot. They came from the oven. Now we're filling them with the pumpkin jam. This one is so tiny, that little jar. But that is perfect to give to someone. Especially if they have never tried it before and they just want to try it. I think that's perfect. I don't have more glasses available at the moment because they're all in use basically, or I don't have enough like caps. And we have way more, well, not way more, but we definitely would have gotten another one of like these glasses of pumpkin jam. I'm gonna fill it up in one of my deli containers and give it to my mother-in-law. I think she'll love that. Of course, this will have to be used fresh, but still, I think she will love that. Okay, so this one we will let cool. And with these ones here, I'm just gonna wipe the rim with vinegar where I have made a little mess with the pumpkin jam, just to be extra safe. It looks and smells beautiful. Now the recipe says to flip them on their lid. They're very hot, so be careful. This is so the air can get out. This is not a recipe, but I'm gonna water bath candies. I just do that simply because I always have a better feeling when I haven't tried out a recipe yet, especially because I added more cinnamon. I'm just gonna be extra careful when I try out a new recipe, and I'm just gonna water bath candies. This pot is not big enough. I really need to start investing in good, like, large pots. So I'm gonna first water bath candies for like 15 minutes or so, and then this one on its own. This one is already forming a skin on top. It's gelling, as you can see. Oh my gosh, you guys, this smells and tastes so incredibly good. And also I think adding a little bit more cinnamon and a little bit more vanilla is the way to go. Okay, you saw that we had all the jars water bath canned, and now I put them on their lid again so the rest of the air, if there is any left, can escape. I will let them cool down overnight and I'll show them to you tomorrow. So the next day, once it was fully cooled down, the pumpkin jam had gotten really thick, and let me tell you, this on a slice of sourdough with a little bit butter underneath or on top of some pancakes, it's just incredible. It has a sweet aromatic flavor, and I think this would pair well with goat cheese as well. So I'm so happy to report that this recipe was a complete success, and everyone who has tried it so far loved it. It had jarred up really nicely, and I think this recipe will become a yearly tradition for me. Unfortunately, I had to end this video in a little bit of a hectic, but thank you so much for watching. Never forget, you are worthy, you are loved, and I hope to see you back next time. Bye!